live Q&A session with myself, Tip. Anamari is actually sick today, and so is our original presenter, but luckily we've got John from Design Space who will kind of run us through his new tool, his platform, all the benefits that small businesses can get from it, and how easy to use it is, and how honestly beneficial it is. I had a chat with John really briefly yesterday, actually, so I'm really excited to, share it with everyone else. And yeah, I guess if you have any questions, put them in the Q&A or the chat. We're live on Facebook and LinkedIn, so if you have any questions, put them in the comments or the chat there, and I'll get to them throughout. And yeah, I guess I'll hand it over to you, John, just to show yourself.
Great. Hopefully everyone can hear me, but thank you, Tip. And apologies up front. This is a very quickly thrown together presentation. So as Tip said, I've created a company called Design Space, which has taken me 3 years of development. Design Space fundamentally is a graphic design software platform. It's a DIY, simple drag and drop, pre-made templates, and my target market, I believe, is small to medium enterprises, and my aim is to offer support through the New Zealand small business market. I'm going through a transition at the moment. We've had one platform live for the last year, testing, getting feedback from the market, and we're just about in a week to launch the new version. Whether people have seen other platforms around the world, there's ones called Canva, Crello, Vista Create, Post on My Wall. There's a variety of them. What I'm hoping to do is to create New Zealand's own version of it. As in the new version that we're about to launch, I've then feedback from the market. A lot of small businesses start setting up, but then they're looking for local images. So what we've done is we've added a local image library. So I'm now looking for freelancers, photographers to come on board, and we're going to build a library of New Zealand photos that are royalty free, can be used for the people adding the photos. I'm going to also add an income stream for them. We will sell the photos. There'll be free ones, but there'll be majority of the photos will be $2.50, which hopefully is affordable. It's an easy transition, and the quality will be good. The other side I'm looking to add, and we are adding, is a find a freelancer function. So not too sure where the people on today's presentation are, what industries, where they're from, what size businesses, but you often start the business up. I know from my side, when I was starting, you need help. You can't, there's DIY platforms, which we're one of them, but you need to link to other people. A lot of people are going offshore to help, which is great, and it's cost effective. What I'm trying to do inside Design Space is add a local NZ freelance network to cover a wide range of jobs. So anything to do with digital side will then hook up, and local supporting local. So hopefully that's a good enough introduction. I guess from a practical point of view, probably Tip, should I share my screen, and we'll just run through some of the functions in Design Space. Whether people have, one thing I'd be quite interested to know from the people who are on here as to what industries they're in, what they're currently doing for marketing, graphic design. Do they outsource it? Would they have all the, I guess, their self-belief that they themselves could become a designer? That's what my aim is. My target is 97%, I believe, of the people that will use Design Space will use it for free. It's a fully free version. There is obviously a paid one because I somehow need to make some income at some stage, but you can go on, create a whole lot of stuff for yourself. So if anyone wants to reach out with an industry, I can see what pre-made templates we have, but I'm looking for feedback as well from the market to see if we can help. So I will share my screen, and I'll just run through a pre-made video. So Tip, if you can let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah, we can see your screen. And I did forget to mention, I did email everyone, but the original session was on Outlook. This is on Design Space because the original presenter is unwell. So yeah, no, this is really exciting. So if you find yourself here unexpectedly, you're in for a treat.
And
but yeah,
photo of my family in the background.
That's how you know.
Yeah, I'll quickly go through just, I just got a few things on the screen. Sorry, I'll get rid of that. So here's a quick video just to show you a fundamental of how to make a business card. It can be a flyer, something, but I'll quickly run through it. It's 5 minutes, but I'll speed it up and I'll talk. So from the platform, there's a ability for someone to choose a different type of template. In this case, we're going to go with a business card. I'll resize that. You can upload images, so from your desktop, anything. I'll just probably slow it down. You can bring in designs, drop them on. Oh, sorry, I went the wrong way. So we'll start again. We can drop in images. You can move them around the screen. We can add text, which you can drop in. You can add in your own text. It can be resized. You can choose fonts. So we've got a database of free fonts that you choose. We can make spacing, all the general things you can do in Word. We have color palettes, so you can change the color of things. And I'll just, if that's okay, this is going to be a business card for a real estate agent, but it's just really, if you're using Word, then this is a fairly simple process. I'll just keep going. We can also add, I'll stop there, a function of curved text. So just, we've taken, I guess, the principle of Word, Excel that people are, and then just added a few functions. That's quite simple. So you can change the shape of things. We can move it up and down. Then with the various colors. And so from that, practically has created a logo. You can then download for different formats, save it, and then it's pretty much set and done. The business card's there, and you can send it off to anyone. So hopefully that gives you a quick view of that. The other one is that we have pre-made templates. And if I quickly run through this one, we have a database of pre-made templates of various categories, logos. Anyone that's starting up a business, you can then look through various shapes that we've got of different things. I've got designers who are just creating new templates all the time. So you pick something that you like, you can then go onto the platform, that drops in. Everything you see on a pre-made template is editable. So each layer, you can then start playing around with and changing it for colors, whatever you'd like to do. You can then change the words. Obviously, it won't be the same business. I'll just speed that up a little bit.
Just on a quick note, this is great because, as you said, if you know how to use Word, you'll pick this up quite intuitively, which is really good. Because obviously there's like the Photoshops and everything which you can do a lot on, but it's really hard if you've never used it before.
Yeah. So the other one, just as you said there, Tip, I'll just go back a smidge. Sorry, I think I missed it. There is a functionality. We've got an effects button. So we've actually built in some Photoshop ability. You can remove backgrounds from photos. You can also crop photos, get them down to do it. So it is a beginner's guide. It's a DIY design. And we're trying to make it as, I guess, as easy as possible. And I'm just struggling here to find my screen. I think I have. Yep, I just get rid of that one. And the last one is just the general, this is, a big topic for everyone is Facebook, people wanting to so this one will quickly make a Facebook post. So what we've done, if I said to someone, make a Facebook post, if I stop it there, sorry, I'll go back. So even for Instagram to go through, people don't know what sizes for the different, you have squares, you have a portrait, you have landscape, and you have stories. They're all different sizes, and which confuses a lot of people. So what we've done is taken that confusion out. They're pre-made to a size, and then you just search through our database of designs, find something that you like. We've sort of hit most of the social media channels and hitting into menus, logos. So you just flick through, have a look. I've also got a team of designers that can make templates specifically for people. So, if based on this one here, just going in, and I'll just quickly flick through, but same principle, you just drag, drop, change, move things. There'll be a little bit in here with the photos to show you what happens in there. But it's the more you use it, the more it becomes intuitive, and you can just build inside each account. Even in a free account, we're giving 10 gigabytes of storage. So you can actually upload your own photos, store them. It becomes a digital asset library. So just on there, sorry, I'll flick back. We have, as well as the New Zealand library that we're building, I've got a photo library called Pixels, which is about 2 to 3 million photos that are royalty free, which you can use in any design. So there's every topic, but I do want to really, and we're going to build our own New Zealand library, which I think is very applicable for the market that we're in. But you can play around, resize stuff. And with colors, there's also icons and shapes that you can use. But it's just, the same as really any platform. And then you can download it into the format. Once it's downloaded, you can then take it off, go along to Facebook, post it, things like that. So that's kind of a rough flow through of what you can do. I'll just quickly, if okay, I'll just move some things. So what we're moving to in the new platform is a look like this. So we're having pre-made templates that I've changed the look on the new platform. Also hitting the image library, which works the same as most. We're just putting in New Zealand photos, the good quality. What I'm also doing is promoting, it needs a me account. I'll ignore that. Inside here, we'll promote who the photographers are, and if people want to hook up with them, if they need the images made in a different shape, then they can talk to the people. The same with the freelancers. We've just added in here as to trying to work out what services a small business would need to hook up. I've got a group of people. So Lucy's based in Taupo, as a graphic designer, runs her own business. Gareth is Christchurch based. If people need SEO, marketing, any advice and things, can tip into that. Sarah's a photographer based in Christchurch. Isaac is also based in Christchurch. I am Christchurch based, hence my link, but Isaac can do anything from apps to websites. And Aja is based out of Wellington, who's also a presenter on Digital Boost and does content and copywriting, which is really a big thing that a lot of people probably need, don't value it enough. So hopefully that gives everyone an idea of what we're doing, what's there. Don't know if anyone's got any questions. If we want to go through and sort of diversify out, but I guess my journey over the last 2 to 3 years while I've developed this, I have been in probably a lot of your people's shoes. I've gone through, learned a whole lot about digital marketing. I've come from a printing background, so my marketing skills have been in the hard copy, now moving to the online world. And it's been a huge learning experience from just understanding the difference between what Facebook, Instagram. I am at the moment trying to set up a TikTok account to head down that way, which is completely outside my comfort zone. But it's just the way people are heading these days. And so it's a good thing to do. So I don't know, I'll stop sharing my screen if that's right. But yeah, so if anyone's got any questions or tip, if you want me to vary into something else or specific.
Everyone, we've got a Q&A in a chat. If you have any questions, or if you're on Facebook or LinkedIn, drop them in. But yeah, I think, I just want to highlight how excited I am for this, just because it's so easy and it's so intuitive. And, even like, because I talked to quite a few of you, but, it's kind of like even us knowing like how to, like what size your image should be for a Facebook post or your Instagram post, the fact that you can do it straight away through the platform and it'll give you the exact size that you need is just really easy, because it says Instagram story and you're like, I want to design a story for like a giveaway or something. You can do it right in Design Space. So definitely like have a try once it's fully launched. I think a week and a half, John.
Yeah, on the 4th, the new platform, there is the platform that's live at the moment. And I guess I don't know how many other people have, but the name Design Space, it's DZYN, which I've had some interesting feedback on, but I purely picked that because when you say it, it's the word design. But for the URLs, when you go to register, make up a domain name, I really wanted a name that was somewhere within the design field, but people have questioned the use of the Z in it, but it was what was available at the time when I registered the domain name, and I kind of live with it, and hopefully it's not too difficult for people to say, and then purposely do it in 2 colors so it shows people that it's 2 words. The other side that I'm really looking to do is pushing through a function where charities, sports clubs, schools can use the platform for free. What I want to try and do is set up a system where if people come onto the platform and they subscribe, charities, schools, sports club, anyone doing any good in the community can raise money off Design Space. We'll share 50-50 the income stream coming through, which hopefully there's, the world of COVID has changed everyone's lives, and a lot of small business out there are hurting. And hopefully with the free version we're offering, that can get a lot of people started, help them with the marketing. And as they go through the journey to rebuild, to find out, we're all waiting to see what the new normal is going to be in the business world, in our personal lives. And then from a community point of view, is then trying to connect people together as well. So that's in the background. Our aim is to hopefully, help the country grow and get back to some form of normality.
Yeah, are you on the? I haven't checked myself. Are you on like the Instas or the Facebook, the Instagram or the Facebook?
Yep, we do have accounts, and and we're in about a week. Middle of next week, we then start a complete marketing campaign to flow through. We're just building a series of posts. So, and I don't know what everyone else does, but it's trying to schedule multiple posts, different topics. I've watched a lot of the Digital Boost webinars with various experts and things. And from there, I've kind of built up my knowledge base of what to do. I've also gone back to a lot of pre-recorded videos you guys have, and then just looking and searching on different topics, and then from there built things. One thing I have added, and I think Letitia was on the other day, was a platform called Yonder, which is a chat box. So I've added Yonder to Design Space, which is a great AI, has a human interface, but being able to give people instant answers with some pre-made questions, and then we can hook in with either emailing them or phoning them or doing things like that. But there's a whole lot of great tools that you guys have had through, and people come up, but there's a wealth of data.
Nice, cool. Yeah, and I've dropped Design Space's Insta and Facebook in the chat, so definitely follow it. I think there's a lot of exciting things to come next few weeks. I guess now's a pretty good time to jump into some, like, I guess I say quick fire questions. Not sure how quick some of them will be, but I think the purpose of this is to get, everyone listening, I guess, thinking about why you should be thinking about like design for your business, and like, I guess how using a tool like Design Space could be really beneficial, of course, but also like taking a step back and thinking like why you should think about creating high quality design. So I guess the first question is, like, why should a business think like, why should, if I can do it in Word, right? Why should I invest like time and money into creating something that will take a bit more time?
My simple answer is the quality. How many people, because I've written Design Space, the code from scratch. So we've actually written the code for it. We've built it in with vector graphics. So basically it's based on a line system, not dots. So what's happening in the market is someone creates something in Word. It's just done, it goes a bit mappy, I guess, is the easiest one. They upload, it's got grainy resolution, it doesn't look good. And so there's nothing worse than seeing a post or something that's got a low resolution. A lot of people download things from the internet, copy and paste it in Word. It's just the quality side. So using a platform like Design Space, the resolution, you can, from a practical point of view, design a business card in Design Space, send it to a billboard printer, print it out 6 by 3 meters, and it'll hold the resolution. So it'll look high quality. So that's the main reason, is quality, because you want to portray quality to your clients. If you have a low quality advert, it's not a great look.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, and I guess just even taking it back to like when you're at the supermarket and you're choosing between different like packets of eggs, right? Even if they're the exact same product, you're gonna pick the one that looks more professional, looks more trustworthy, and it's the exact same thing for like anything you do. Even like like your shop. Like if you have a shop, you spend so much time like organizing your shop, to make it easy for a customer to, I guess, buy something. It's kind of the same kind of thing with like your social media and stuff. That's kind of like your shop front, and you want to make it look high quality, look trustworthy, and make it, yeah. So no, that's great. I'll jump into the Q&A. We had Dean ask, are you able to get stuff printed off your app in New Zealand?
What's that, sorry, Tip?
Are you able to get stuff printed off your app?
Yes, as I alluded to earlier, my journey into Design Space, my current life still is I have a printing company based out of Christchurch, and so we created an online store called Print Monday, and what I wanted to do with that was add a design element, and that's where Design Space has evolved from. So we're just working through how we merge the two systems, but yeah, so we do for the printing side anything that, because it still is, there's a need for print. Definitely the online, from our printing company side of things, we have, and the print industry, we have lost 50% of our print market. If the people that are on this webinar, just ask them, how many people get a newspaper delivered to their house these days? It's probably less than 5%, I would say, but there still is a need for printing. So yes, we're adding a link into Print Monday, which will then give people the ability to print. And the Print Monday side of things, we run 250 business cards for $15. So again, what I'm trying to do is, through the two platforms, is offer a really cost-effective solution for New Zealand businesses to shop and transact in New Zealand. So it's trying to work out also from the market and from the people, what do they want going forward? As I said, I've got a team of designers that we'd love to get feedback from people to go, they're in a certain industry, they need help creating their marketing, they might see examples of other companies, what they do, and we can recreate them for people and then build and then help them on their journey to start hopefully increasing sales and getting more clients.
Nice. Yeah, definitely. I think that's really cool. I guess a follow-up from Dan is, how about, can you get like custom Christmas cards and birthday cards printed?
Yes, that's a really good question, because we have a great debate over that as to we've just started doing printing off photos. So we've managed to set up hopefully a process of being able to run anything from 10 to 20. So I guess, you know, do people send out a hard copy card, or do they send it electronically? So with Design Space, we've given the ability to create a personalized card. You can email it, and then with Print Monday, you can then download that file, and we can just run 3 to 4 copies. Or obviously more. We'd love people to print more, but I think the whole idea of the platforms like Design Space is the personalization. You look at the success of like MailChimp and things like that. You know, when you send out a newsletter, if you personalize it with a name into it, it looks, and that's where the digital age is great, is that whole personalization, being able to see your name in writing.
Yeah, and even I guess on that, like, actually, I think just to like shift a bit, I think you mentioned, you know, the photos, right? The photos, I think they've been sold for $250. And yeah, I guess like it'll be great if you can kind of highlight that feature more, and I guess like the importance of using photos if you're a business, and how getting photos really easily can be beneficial on like digital and like offline, like how using these assets can be good.
Yeah, well, the aim, the library is a new feature we're adding, and we're reaching out, we're trying to find, because now with the advent of cell phones, cameras, the quality of, you know, your mobile device as the quality of your photo, people are out and about, the world of social media, people are taking photos in different lighting, things like that, and there's some really great photos taken by just Joe Public. And then also through the, I guess, from my children, from Tip, from people like you, people are looking at doing something on the side. They're trying to get their work-life balance. They'll have a job, they'll have some interests, and then if their interest can earn some income. So what I'm trying to do is provide a platform for people to earn a side income on the side, they can do it. And then for the business point of view, having good quality New Zealand photos readily available, and a whole variety of them. Because part of what you're trying to do is stand out from the crowd. But if you're using photos from the same old photo libraries, then your competitor may have the same photo. So by having a wider variety of photos of New Zealand, different angles, different things, then hopefully we can get a bigger database and give people options. And rather than, I'm intrigued actually, whether people, I see a lot of the TV ads and things coming through these days, and a lot of the static ads, people are using cartoon characters rather than real photos or real people. So don't know whether the market's moving to more animation types, now that the technology is there for people to create more animations, whether that heads, or the sort of that virtual world, the what do they call them, the avatars, people creating avatars for, but hopefully, I don't know whether that will off, or people will still want the photo side of things.
I think I have an interesting insight, because I actually used to work in advertising during COVID, and honestly, a lot of that is because of COVID, because it's hard to get like a production set up.
Yeah.
So that'll be part of it. But of course, I think because it's more accessible and it's more easy to do animation, a lot of, I guess, ads on TV and stuff are going that way. But yeah, I guess on the photo side, yeah, I definitely think, it's really good to get high quality photos, and I think it's something that we've all kind of thought about. It's like, you can do a photo shoot and get like a few photos, but then like, very quickly, if you're posting like, as often as you need to be on like social media, you do run out of photos and you do run out of content. So I think, definitely have a look, and it's a really good price as well. And you're also like helping, someone in your community or in New Zealand. So it's like a win-win. You get really good assets you can use, for, all your needs, I guess. And I'm sure like as it grows, there'll be some very specific, photos of some very specific things in New Zealand. And, I think that's something that is really important to a lot of consumers in New Zealand. So, it's...
I hadn't really thought about it, but you've probably touched on something, because when you think about the advertising in Instagram, Facebook, they're very quick, short. It's a photo with a message on it. But by having access to a good database of New Zealand photos, you can easily change out the photos and have the same message, but just have, and I guess that's the hardest thing for people when they're doing their marketing, is coming up with the ideas for content. But if you have a database of easily accessible images, run them in the background, you just change out the images and you have a new post.
Yeah, definitely. And like, I think, if you've ever tried to look for royalty-free images online, a lot of it is not great. And if it is good, it's expensive. So, and it's also offshore, which, again, lose. So yeah, like, I think because I guess like my dad's a photographer, so it's something I guess important to me, and I guess I kind of lived around artists forever. So I think definitely, it's such a cool tool, and I think John, we talked about it yesterday, but it's such a gap in terms of like a New Zealand, I guess a place for like New Zealanders to share images, and they're the most relevant to all of our customers as well, most likely. So yeah, that's cool to think about. Yeah, what
I think
else?
Markets, people want to share more now, don't they? I mean, the whole social media platform is people sharing things, the whole social side, to whether they live their life virtually or not, I don't know, but that just gives them another option.
Yeah, and I think like people do like sharing things, and also I think like people like have kind of turned towards like like local stuff, as you kind of learn more about all these companies in the world, and you're like, oh, actually I just want to support the place down the street. And I think it's a key selling point, because like I guess one of like the people I talk to who's a user is they're like a Chinese school in Auckland, and then like there is essentially like fighting, like, well, like in marketing, the competitors are all like these huge like websites that do like online like Mandarin courses, whereas for them their key selling point is we're in New Zealand, we can work to your time zone, we can meet in person, pretty soon, I'm sure. And so for that, and I guess that's a key selling point for like I think so many New Zealand businesses, because I think most of us like to support local where possible. So
and it's trying to also, I think you touched on it there with the Chinese school, is being able to reach out and talk to people as well.
Definitely,
that ability that we're transacting in generally the same time zone. People want the ability to be able to go to a chat box and do things, but then also have a phone number or a contact to be able to reach out to people, because it's hard. It's trying to, I guess it's that fine line between a online and offline, I guess the traditional way of marketing of in the good old days when we printed thousands of things and shoved them into envelopes and posted them out. Just the accessibility is so much easier now with online, but you'll get something and you just go, yes, I can go onto their online tool, but I just want to talk to someone and ask them a question that they can't really find. So that's where I hope that we'll be able to just bridge that gap and offer people an online and an offline solution.
Yeah, cool. I guess to kind of, we'll wrap up soon, but I think to think about, if I was like, I'm a business owner, I'm trying to figure out how I can use this tool and what's the most important first steps, what would you say to them in terms of how to get started, what to create, I guess?
Yeah, we've got a few online videos for people to watch as part of the Q&A scenario, but also the other one is to have a look through the database of pre-made images to give them ideas of just to get started and start slowly, because I think with a lot of the digital marketing, you just have to do something. But once you start doing something, you then just need to get consistency, and actually then from a posting point of view to say that you're going to post every week or whatever schedule works for your business, and then have, I guess, work through the scenario, because inside the system, you can create your own brand, your look, your style, and just work on that, which then helps portray the consistency of you, which will then hopefully portray that message through to the clients.
Yeah.
And then just play around. But it's just starting, getting over that hurdle. It's like everything, there's a 15, 30-minute learning curve to get started, but we've hopefully made it as relatively easy for everyone. But as I said, that's where we just want people to reach out to say help. And for some businesses, what we've done is we've gone in and helped them create, half a dozen posts to get them started, and just, found out what they've done in the past, picked up those ideas, tweaked them, made templates for them, and then set them off on their path. So hopefully that can help. And then, as I said earlier, would love to get feedback from people as to what types of, marketing and templates they would like to see, the specific industries. Because one of the things that I struggle with is you have a business and what industry you're in, what industry you're targeting. From a design point of view, we're targeting everyone, and to make up marketing material for everyone is actually really hard. So it's getting the feedback from people, and then just growing the platform and be relevant. Because I guess, one of the things I'm trying to understand is when people come on or they sign up for the platform, what is their one thing they'd love this platform to do for them? What's the problem or issue they have? Why have they looked, and how can we help them solve it? Is the issue that they need ideas? So have a look through the templates, have a look through the photos. Do they have is it a cost barrier? So we have the free version that they can use it for free, can download, so that works for them. So just trying to get that balance right as to what works for the different parts of the market.
Yeah, and I guess is it pretty easy to find out on your website where to feed the feedback to?
Yeah. There's contact details. They just click on the links and do it and send through. And we have a chat box that's got some instant answers. There's a Q&A scenario. We've created videos to show people how to use the different functions specifically. But I guess there is, they can reach out and we can talk, which is really where I just want to keep that human element side of it, because ultimately people like dealing with people.
Definitely. Cool. No, that was really like, I guess, beneficial and helpful, and I think I'm really excited to have a play like the new update soon. And yeah, I guess, do you have any? I guess it's probably a good time to close. So, if you have any closing thoughts or anything, feel free.
No, my main closing thought is I just want people to use it, to try it, to give us feedback. We've built it from scratch. I've built it based on my perceptions as to what I think a small business will need based on my experience from what I've done in the past. But I just love to get the feedback from people, if there's some businesses starting up or they've, really struggled with COVID, need to get back into it, then feel free to reach out. That we'd love to help people, there's and get them back on their way. The free service is there, so there's no cost to them, and it just gets them back on their journey. Hopefully, if they see some marketing going out, then people know they're back in business. And so, so we'd love to help people. So feel free to send through contact details.
Yeah, cool. Well, no, thanks so much, John, firstly for jumping in, like with like an hour's notice, literal legend. And it's been a really good session on this Friday. And because if you have any questions, design space, you can see it on John's shirt there, DZYN space.
Actually, I got my
other side, yeah. And yeah, I recommend having a go with it as well. I think you'll be, you'll find that it's quite intuitive, that it's quite easy to use, and you'll be able to create content, a lot easier than perhaps you could have yesterday. Any questions for us? So if you want us to pass a message on to John, I'll drop my email or the DigitalBoost email in the chat, support@digitalboost.co.nz. Give us a message. We can forward you on to John if you need. And yeah, I guess have a great weekend. And thanks so much for joining us on this Friday. And again, John, thanks so much. And I'm sure we'll talk to you very soon.
Yep. Thank you, Tip. And thanks to everyone. Have a great weekend.
Yeah. All right. See you, everyone.